If you don't have the competence, how are you supposed to get the confidence? Let's talk about that. Of the many people I coach, confidence is usually the thing that most people are wanting, or they're wanting me to coach them to help them have. Not only that, they are especially looking for confidence with things that they have not tried yet, things they have not done yet. They're afraid to try them and they are lacking in confidence, and they want me to help them have the confidence to go and do something that they haven't done yet and they haven't developed the confidence to do. So how do you do that? And where does this mysterious confidence even come from when you do have it? Because you felt it before, you know what it feels like, and sometimes you have had that confidence and you're not even sure why, and then it goes the other way too. It suddenly disappears. And where does it go? So we're going to explore that in this video. Before I get into this though, if you find yourself liking this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure that you click that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when I put new videos out, which tends to be every Wednesday and every Saturday. And if you're really impatient and you just want to know what it is that I'm giving away for free in this video, if you check the description right here down below, you will see that there's a link. That link will lead you to a free PDF of the healthy elements of a self-concept given to me by my mentor, Steve Andreas. Let's first talk about confidence without competence. There are a lot of NLP techniques, and not just NLP techniques, but ways in which people try to have confidence without the competence. And that usually leads to not so good results. We talk about things like fake it until you make it. And if you've ever known someone who was faking it until they made it, they love to tell you about all the wonderful things that they're doing but not really doing, all the wonderful things that they can do but they haven't really done yet. And so it's a lot of sort of make-believe. And there's always a part of you when you're trying to do fake it until you make it, there's always a part of you that has to reconcile this. There's a part of you, mostly unconscious, that says, no, we're not that. We're not doing that yet. Sure, we want to be that. But there's a part of you that has to acknowledge that you are not. So it usually creates an internal conflict. Then people try to anchor in confidence. And this can give you a temporary boost. It can make you feel for, a few moments of when you hit that anchor that you kind of have a little boost in confidence. But the truth is that never really worked for me that well, because you have to be rather self-conscious, which is kind of the opposite of confidence. You have to be rather self-conscious to remember to fire your trigger. The trigger goes off and you go, am I feeling confident? Am I feeling confident? And that sort of self-consciousness, at least for me anyway, would make that go away. And I've talked to a lot of people who have come to me saying the same thing. I've tried to anchor confidence in and it just doesn't work. It just, I feel it for a moment, but it goes away. And it's like, yeah, because you're overly conscious of self, which makes you not confident. And if you take this to its extreme, like being confident about things that you're not really competent at, like driving a car. What if you were not competent at driving a car, but you were very confident in your ability? Well, you would probably do some stupid things like a lot of teenagers do when they get their license. Driving too fast, turning too fast. Lots of things that you can think of that you probably did when you first started driving and you felt way more confident than you were competent. And if you think about like flying an airplane or snow skiing, a really steep, tall slope, when you don't really have the ability, but you've pumped your confidence up, so you go and you do it, this can be dangerous for you, and it can also be dangerous for other people. So confidence without competence can get you into a lot of trouble. I would say just abandon that idea right now. My mentor, Steve Andreas, when he taught the self-concept model, he would talk about the different levels of competence and confidence. And the first level is low confidence, low competence. So you probably had the experience before of learning something new. And part of what creates a good learning state is not having high confidence, having low confidence, so you can learn. You know that you're not competent yet, so your confidence in that thing is low, which opens you up to learning, opens you up to taking direction, makes you coachable. So this is a good learning place. As long as you're willing to move forward on it, as long as you're willing to learn, this is actually not a bad place to be if it's accurate. Then there is high competence, high confidence. Now this is really the ideal place to be. You are competent and your confidence matches it. Because you are competent and you know it, which is what confidence is, you will take more risk. You will keep your promises. You know that you can fulfill on what it is you say that you can do. And because you know that you can and then you do, well, that adds more. Every time you do that, it adds to more of your confidence. And you also, as you build that confidence, you try new things. You're willing to put yourself out there. So you develop more confidence. The more confidence you develop, the more confidence you gain as a result of that. So the two compound on each other, and you become more and more confident, and along the way you become more and more confident. This is the ideal place. This is what we're all really looking for. Then there is high confidence, low confidence. And actually, this is probably where most of you are at. This is probably where most of the people are who I coach. And this is a real shame to be in this place. And not that there's anything shameful about being here. It's just a shame that this is where most people who get stuck in high confidence, low confidence never really achieve their potential. They never really fulfill their potential. They usually underachieve because they're not aware of actually how competent they are. And so an example of this would be like public speaking. A lot of people are afraid to do public speaking. Now, if you think about it, you can form sentences, you can speak. So you have the competence. You just don't have the confidence if you're unwilling to speak in public, or when you go to do it, you're very afraid. So if you think about it, you have the competence, you're lacking the confidence. This is a tough place to be. Like I said, this is where most people who come to me, this is usually where they're at. And this is usually where we begin the work, because it's really important for your own well-being, not just for like accomplishing things and impressing people, but for your own well-being. To fulfill your potential is extremely important. And if you have high confidence but low confidence, that's just not going to happen, because you limit yourself. That fear will really limit you from truly seeing what it is you're capable of. Finally, low competence, high confidence. This is really what I addressed earlier on. I'm not going to go into it too much because you already know what that is like. And these tend to be those very annoying people who think they're better than everyone else, who think they have a lot of ability that they just do not have. So they pump themselves up with arrogance. Like I said, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. And not only that, you could also harm not only yourself, but other people as well. So this is not a good place to be. And these people rarely learn anything. Why? Well, because they believe they know it all. So this is not a good learning state to be. This is very, very limiting and very, very problematic. Okay, what are some solutions to this if you're lacking confidence and the lacking confidence is holding you back? Well, first of all, check in. Or do you actually have the competence or not? Do you have the competence to back up the confidence in whatever it is that you do? Be very real with yourself. When I say be real with yourself, like, you may in fact have the competence. And that is something that's really good to know. If you don't have the competence, and you'll know this by like really look at, do you have experience in this area? What have you accomplished in this area? What thresholds have you crossed in this area? And so for some of you, it's something you're just getting started with, right? It's something you're learning for the first time, or it's about giving that public speech, or I've been having more people more and more talking to me about doing YouTube. They want to start their YouTube channel and they lack the confidence. So it's like, well, of course you're not going to be confident about this if you've never done it. It's not the easiest thing to talk to a camera. So you have to get some practice in it. And so the question comes, well, how do I even cross that threshold? How do I even get myself to step off that ledge and do this? Well, it goes back to what I was saying about that learning state. If you can acknowledge that you are in fact in a learning stage, and there is nothing wrong with that, open yourself up and say, okay, I don't know what I don't know. I lack the confidence because I honestly don't have the confidence, and accept that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's what you can be confident about is you can be confident that you can learn, because you've learned so many things in your life by this time. What I tell people is like, by the time you're 2, you're already speaking a language. You learned a language without even trying. If you've ever learned a second language like I'm doing right now, when I think about that, it's like, well, how did I do that? It seems rather extraordinary because I'm working so hard to learn a second language. The fact that you just learned a language, that tells you right there that you have a brain that will learn. You simply have to expose it to the stimulus of whatever it is that you want to learn. You just have to expose yourself to the knowledge. You have to expose yourself to experience. When you do that, you will cultivate competence. And along with that will come the confidence. So be confident in your competence of learning. You're not going to be competent at something you've never done before. It's normal not to be good at something that you've either never done or you haven't done much of. So also when it comes to public speaking, there are safe places to learn how to do that. I was very nervous about public speaking, and I thought to myself, okay, I want to tackle this fear. I went to Toastmasters, great place to learn. It's inexpensive, and everyone there is there to do the same thing. So no one's going to laugh at you. You're going to get up there and you're going to just learn how to do this thing. You're going to get comfortable in front of people. It works. So get out there and get some experience. Now, for you people who, when you look at yourself and you ask yourself, do I in fact have the competence, but I lack the confidence, and you're sure about this, you can objectively look at the fact that you do indeed have competence in this area. First of all, you should feel a little boost in your confidence just from doing that. Just from knowing that you've objectively looked at this and you go, well, yeah, I do have the competence. So where is the confidence? High confidence, low confidence is actually where it's the sweet spot for where most of these NLP techniques can actually work. So things like anchoring confidence. If you have the competence, but the confidence is low, anchoring confidence into or associating it with whatever the task is actually can work really, really well. Still, for me, anchoring doesn't work terribly well. So what I often use is what we call mapping across, and I've done videos on mapping across. And it's basically where you would take something you are confident about because you are also competent in it. So take something else that you're competent in, that you feel confident about. The more similar it is to the thing that you're working with, that you have competence but low confidence, the better. The more similar they are, the better. And you really elicit the submodalities of that experience of being both competent and confident. And so I have another video on this where I show you how to do exactly this piece by piece. And so what you're basically doing in mapping across is you're recoding the experience. You're recoding the experience with the structural elements that create the feelings you want to experience. And in this case, it's confidence. And so because it is something that you're competent already in, it will be easy to add the confidence. Ultimately, creating confidence in something is really about recoding your experience if you are in fact competent. When you are competent but you lack confidence, it's actually quite easy to add the confidence in there. So if you want to learn how to do this on a really deep level, where you want to take your competence and become very confident, you want to transform these qualities of who you are into very certain and solid qualities so that you become more confident and increase your self-esteem, you can work with me one-on-one as a coach, or you can join our program where we have a team of coaches and we help you recreate your life. We help you transform yourself into the person who has the life that you want to live. So if you'd like to start that conversation, right here down below in the description, you will also find a link. You click that link and you'll have one of our coaches do a free consultation with you, and you'll get to assess, what it is that you want to work on and what you can expect as far as the plan where we implement the tools that help you transform yourself into that confident person who you want to be. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already by this time, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't have done this already, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the bell so you'll be notified when I put new videos out. And last but not least, if you can think of a friend or a family member who would benefit from this video, make sure you share it with them. Take care.